Hello and welcome to Run Testers. My name's Nick. In this video we're going to be comparing the Nike Pegasus Premium to the Pegasus 41 and the Pegasus Plus. So the Pegasus line now contains three shoes. It's part of a restructuring of Nike's training range where they have the Pegasus line, which is responsive daily trainers like these, the Vomero line, which is cushion shoes, and the Structure line, which is stability shoes. The Pegasus Premium sits at the top of the Pegasus lineup, ahead of the Pegasus Plus, with the Pegasus 41 being the standard entry-level model, I guess. So they come at a range of prices. Like I said, the Pegasus 41 is the cheapest shoe. It's £130 or $140. Pegasus Plus is £165 or $180. And the Pegasus Premium is £185 or $210. Then it comes to the weight. The Pegasus 41 is 291 grams or 10.3 ounces. Pegasus Plus is the lightest shoe in the range at 257 grams or 9 ounces. And the heaviest shoe in the range is actually the Pegasus Premium, which is a beefy 328 grams or 11.6 ounces. All those weights are in my UK size 9 shoes, which is a US 10. They've all got a 10mm drop, the kind of classic Nike 10mm drop across the board. When it comes to stack heights, the Pegasus Premium is the highest stack shoe. It's 45mm at the heel, 35 at the forefoot. Not sure on the exact specs on the other two shoes, but they're lower than that. I think the Pegasus Plus is probably the lowest stack shoe, but both it and the Pegasus 41 seem to be just under 40mm at the heel. And when it comes to design, with the Pegasus 41, you have a React X midsole with Air Zoom pods in there. The midsole is very much the key differences between the three shoes. They've all got a blend of kind of three materials, but like I say, with the Pegasus 41, it's React X foam, Air Zoom pods, engineered mesh upper, lots of padding on it, and then a waffle tread outsole. Then as you go up to the Pegasus Plus, you get an improved midsole foam. It's all made from Nike's Zoom X foam. This is not the softest version of Zoom X I've ever tested. This is the bouncy foam you see in their best shoes in general, but it is a more responsive and lightweight foam than the stuff in the Pegasus 41. Then you have a Flyknit upper and then a rubber outsole. Again, you've got that kind of waffle tread, pretty good coverage on the shoe as well. And then stepping up to the Pegasus Premium, there's a whole lot going on in the midsole here. You've got three different materials, basically a blend of the materials used in the Pegasus 41 and Pegasus Plus. You've got a top layer of Zoom X foam with a layer of React X foam going from the heel to the midfoot at the bottom. And then in between those, you've got a full Air Zoom unit, which is the first in Nike shoes. It's a very responsive material. Obviously, it's quite eye-catching design as well. So then you've got an engineered mesh upper, good amount of padding there. And then again, a waffle outsole, good coverage on the bottom of the shoe there. Comes to fit of the three shoes, I've got all of them in a UK 9, which is a US 10. That's the size I use across Nike's range and have done for many years. I have done in many models of the Pegasus and the Pegasus Plus / Turbo, and they all fit me really well. Got a good hold around the heel and midfoot, enough room in the toes. Wouldn't really say there's much of a difference in fit across the three shoes. They've all got a fairly padded heel collar on the back there and tongue, and a good amount of room in the toes. So yeah, I'd stick to your normal running shoe size and the same size across these three shoes. So, the Pegasus lineup, these are all meant to be responsive daily trainers, kind of catering for different price points, different styles of running perhaps, or different preferences in ride feel. They've all got a kind of fairly classic Nike silhouette with that 10mm drop, fairly narrow design, not the most rockered shoes all round. And it's really the mix of materials you have in the midsole here and the much higher stack height on the Pegasus Premium that creates a slight difference in ride feel. So I've run about 50 to 100k in each of these shoes, using them for a mix of daily training. I've done some short runs where I've been wearing two of the shoes at the same time to kind of directly compare them, and certainly I have thoughts, and we'll go into those thoughts now. We'll go through the shoes in turn. Let's start with the Pegasus 41, which is the classic Nike Pegasus. It's a really good model of the Pegasus. I think this is a really good mid-range daily trainer that will suit lots of runners. It hasn't got the most exciting ride underfoot. The foams in the midsole are kind of comfortable, but they're not very responsive, especially under the forefoot there, but it will work for lots of runners. It's the most stable of the three Pegasus shoes for sure, the widest and the most stable. It's not too heavy for such a cushion shoe. It does offer a pretty good blend of comfort and a bit of versatility for daily training. It's not a shoe that I've loved going fast in, particularly myself, but you can do a bit of up-tempo stuff, and it's certainly going to be a durable shoe. It's in line very much with lots of mid-range trainers from other brands, things like the Saucony Ride 17, the Asics Nova Blast 5, those kind of shoes. It's not going to offend many runners, but it's also not going to give you, a particularly exciting feeling underfoot, and you do get more of that if you upgrade to the Pegasus Plus, simply because of the improved foam in the midsole here. So got quite a similar design all around, 10mm drop, fairly similar looking shoe. little bit narrower, the Pegasus Plus, and with that better foam in the midsole, it just makes it a fair bit lighter all round. And as a result, you get a better shoe in terms of versatility. Pegasus Plus is certainly the one of these three shoes I would view as the best for faster running. I enjoy doing a wider range of daily training in it. I think it's got the pep for kind of tempo runs, interval sessions, that kind of thing. It's still not a really fast shoe. It's not like a super trainer, like something like Nike Zoom Fly, which is a plate and just a more sprightly design all round. But you can pick up the pace in it. It's got a nice natural feel on the foot, and certainly of these three shoes, it's the one I'd be looking at if I was looking for a really versatile all-round shoe that has a bit of speed there. It probably compares best to lightweight plate-free shoes from other brands like the Hoka Max 6, New Balance Rebel V4, that kind of thing. It's a shoe you can do a lot of different running in because it is still cushioned and comfortable enough for easy runs, long runs, the kind of stuff you do in the Pegasus. It's not quite as wide and as stable as the Pegasus. It's not quite as cushy underfoot, I'd say, at the heel, but it is still very comfortable, and I enjoyed going long in this shoe without any problems. And you've got quite a similar ride to the Pegasus 41 with that 10mm drop. Kind of snaps through. You get a little bit of forefoot discomfort sometimes over long distances because they are quite thin under the forefoot because of that 10mm drop, but still a comfortable shoe and one that I do think is the most versatile of these three. The Pegasus 41 to the Pegasus Plus is quite a natural progression. You've got a similar style of shoe, just with kind of better materials in the Pegasus Plus, which you pay a bit more for. But then the Pegasus Premium is something quite different to the others. Like, it's got a lot more foam underfoot. You've got a bouncier design for sure. This is the bounciest Pegasus for sure. You've got a really much more responsive feeling under the forefoot because you've got much higher stack there. So you get more comfort with the Pegasus Premium under the forefoot and a lot more response as well. Like, it does give you a really bouncy ride. I was running with this shoe at the same time as the other two. You do get a lot more lift off that forefoot. But the trade-off is that it's a lot heavier, this shoe, and that's noticeable as well. Like, I have done some faster running in the Pegasus Premium, and it just feels more natural to do it in something like the Pegasus Plus because it's just a lighter shoe. It just feels easier to up the pace in this. Like, when you get into a nice flat stretch of road, or even a mild downhill, you can really bounce along and cruise along very merrily in the Pegasus Plus, but the weight certainly holds it back, and I don't think it's necessarily the most well-rounded daily trainer because it's also, I think, the least stable of these three shoes. And it's not just because it's the highest stack height of them, but it's also got the narrowest pinch point around the midfoot, which I think is quite a strange design choice from Nike, given that you've got this high stack of foams. It does mean it's ever so slightly wobbly underfoot. Like, I'm a neutral runner, and I still found I was pronating a little bit in this shoe compared to the others, and I think if you are someone who needs a bit of stability, I'll definitely avoid the Pegasus Premium. Of these three shoes, the Pegasus 41 is certainly the most stable. So it's definitely the most interesting ride of the three, and it's probably a little bit more modern and different to the other Nike shoes because even though it still has that 10mm drop, it does feel a bit more rocketed and you transition a bit more smoothly in the Pegasus Premium, I'd say. And having that thick chunk of foam underfoot is very different to other Nike shoes, which, like I say, often because of the 10mm drop, can be a bit thin under the forefoot compared to lots of more rocketed or lower drop shoes on the market. Pegasus Premium has that extra cush there, gives you a nice bouncy feeling there, gives you a more protective feeling on long runs, but the trade-off is weight and also, unfortunately, stability, I would say. So this is a shoe that probably lines up more with max cushion cruisers from other brands like the Brooks Glycerin Max, the Hoka Skyward X, or the Puma Mag Max. It's not really a super trainer per se, like one that you'd use for a bit of everything. That's the Nike Zoom Fly for sure. And in this range, it feels like you've got natural step up from Pegasus 41 to Pegasus Plus, and something quite different on top of that, which will probably really appeal to some runners, but I think will have less broad appeal than these two shoes. The Pegasus 41 and the Pegasus Plus are pretty good, reliable workhorse daily trainers. Pegasus Premium is something quite different. So it comes to my verdict on the Pegasus range. I think the Nike Pegasus Plus is the best all-round shoe in the Pegasus range these days. It's the one I'd be picking up if I was looking to add a shoe to rotation, or if I was looking for an all-rounder shoe to do a bit of everything in. Like, it's pretty comfortable, it's lightweight, it's fast, it's nippy, it's got a nice snappy ride to it. You can do bit of everything in it, and it, like I say, it's quite a natural step up on the Pegasus 41. You trade off a little bit of stability and width and comfort at the back of the shoe, but you still have a comfortable shoe here. It's still pretty stable, and you get a lot more response out of the Zoom X midsole. You get a lighter shoe and just a more accomplished all-round shoe. So that's the one that I think is the best shoe in this range. I think if you're a newer runner or you're just looking for a comfortable and durable shoe for easy runs, then the Nike Pegasus 41 is a really good choice as well. It's a little bit cheaper than the Pegasus Plus. It's a shoe that always pops up in sales as well, and it's quite a nice shoe as well in terms of looks, so you can use it for walking around as well, which is good. And yeah, it's a good shoe as well. It's not as responsive and fast for sure. It's not a shoe that I view as particularly versatile myself, but it's a very solid all-round shoe and one that will work for lots of runners. So yeah, I would say these are both pretty good shoes that could find a spot in most people's rotation. And then the Pegasus Premium is something quite different. So I think it's not the shoe I'd recommend buying purely from a running perspective for sure. If If you love the look of this shoe and you want a shoe that you can use for lifestyle use and the occasional run, it will do the job of that. Just be a bit wary of that stability. If you also just want the bounciest, liveliest ride possible out of these three shoes, then it is the Pegasus Premium. It's just the trade-off there is very much the weight. So if you're looking for the most fun shoe, I guess, to do easy runs, that kind of thing, then it is the Pegasus Premium. But if you're looking for a more of a workhorse trainer to do those easy runs and other runs as well, then yeah, the Pegasus 41 or Pegasus Plus, I think, certainly more comfortless running shoes and a fair bit cheaper. But this is, it's a bit different, especially for Nike with that extra foam under the forefoot there. You are going to get a nice bouncy feeling there. It is fun to run in. Yeah, just got those concerns about weight, stability, and indeed price. So the other shoes I think are probably more natural fits for most runners. And like I say, of the three, my favourite is definitely the Pegasus Plus. That's our run through of the Nike Pegasus lineup for 2025. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please do like and subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you next time.